Hey, good day, YouTube. Kind of coming from a different location. It's so windy today. I came down by the river and it's just windy. I thought maybe getting down low would be all right, but it's still, I gotta get in this windbreak here to get a video going. So I want to point you in the direction of a video. Put the link down below. Put the channel up in the cards. Top left corner. Wait, your top left over there. I was right the first time. Never question yourself, right? A video the other day by Seller559 talking about the economic collapse and how he's heard that story a million times over the days of being on YouTube, and you know how he's transformed his viewpoint because he always heard the economic collapse is impending this year and all the predictions people would come on and make on YouTube and other places, and he got sick of it. He ranted pretty good, and he's right. People come into social media or other platforms and sell a product or something based upon something, and you can go back and see my videos. A lot of my early videos are talking about the concerns of the economy and the economic collapse, you know, potential and everything else. And I think a couple years ago I started transitioning in that mode of thought, much to what he talks about with everybody has to understand, I think, that the economic collapse, and this is really what I want to get across to Seller, maybe some of the rest of you can listen, is it's happening. It's going to happen. It's just not going to happen quickly where everybody notices. It's not going to be like an instantaneous thing or overnight thing. It's going to be a slow, steady collapse. It's going to be what I called a slow burn in one video. Much like the Roman Empire, people called themselves Romans up into the 3rd, 4th century that were outside of the empire boundaries. It very well could be something like that, where just prosperity goes downhill, the diversified economy goes downhill. However it happens, the purchasing power, trade, all these things just slowly decline to transition that economy. Either that or we get a totalitarian state, as I've said and hypothesized. I can't prove it, but until it happens, I guess. But the further the decline of the economy, the increase of the police state. Because not only do you have to quell unrest, you have to enforce control over people and their economic activity. So he had a good video, and I think a lot of us started watching movies and videos on YouTube on here about that concern. Like I said, as long as the Federal Reserve has control, there's going to be a lot of problems. There's going to be crashes and burns with different markets and all these other things. And if it ever loses control, then we're really in bad shape. That's the scary part. It's like, this is what happens when they're in control. You get stock market crashes, you get the housing bubble, you get all the the 08 crash and mortgage and loan bust and all these other things. That's when the Fed's in control. When the central bank loses control of this fiat currency and nobody has access to other means of production or other means of wealth storage, I guess you'd say, it could get ugly. Now, we'll go into Bitcoin later. Actually, to go along with that, there was a story about Bitcoin. The headline was, "Can Bitcoin crash the economy?" ? And they went into the story about that, about hypothesizing about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And they ultimately come to the conclusion that there's not enough value in Bitcoin currently as far as market capitalization when you compare it to dollar value of the trillions and trillions of the economy versus what's in Bitcoin right now or cryptocurrencies. It's just not a percentage enough to crash the economy. If it was to collapse, fall apart, I mean, if the net goes out and you can't use Bitcoin, you're not going to be able to use a lot of other things either, so that'll be an economic collapse of its own right, not just because of Bitcoin. But I'll put that article down below too. But I mean, that's pretty straightforward, makes sense. But again, as long as we're talking about outside of natural disasters, man-made events, the economy is just going to continue a slow burn of inflationary measures, inflationary principles. It's going to eat ourselves. The need to bring in outside economies to latch to our economy to prop up the dollar is going to be a need. It's just going to be a process. Decades, 100 years from now, it'll just be different. I mean, you think about as bad as the gas lines were in the 70s. you know, what were they paying? $1.20? I think they had $2.50 gas at some places back then. It was very high for the time. But skip forward now. Yeah, did we have better technology? Did we have all these conveniences? But at what price? That's the real questions that we need to answer ourselves. But good video by Seller. Go check him out. Again, he'll be in the cards and also in the link below in the comment box. Live free. What do you think about that?